Hola, brujas. I'm not Spanish, but this deck was. Shit. What's poppin', y'all? My name's YFLVI, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showcasing you a dinosaur profile. I'll be explaining my card choices, my card ratios, and if there's any expensive cards in this deck, I'll be sure to provide some budget options for you budget-friendly players out there. Since we have these cards already on the mat, let's get started. 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor. This is a 3 of because it is your starter card, okay? This is your searcher and it is your foolish burial. You can search any dino monster from your deck to your hand, and it could dump any dino monster from your deck to the graveyard. Its second effect and last effect is target one other level 4 or lower dino monster from the field, destroy it. That could be your field or the opponent's field. Then special summon a dino monster from your graveyard in defense position. This is a hard once per turn, meaning the effect of Soul Eating Oviraptor can only be used once. Okay? So yeah, like I said, it's a 3 of, and it's a it is a level 4. So that is very useful because it could be used in a lot of synchro packages. So we run 3 of those, want to maximize on that. Now, for the card that survived the extinction, okay, Dinosaurus. This card is really good for one reason. Its first effect states that during either player's main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and during that main phase, your dinosaur monsters that you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Meaning to say, if I normal summon a Soul Eating Oviraptor, someone effect veilers it, and then I chain Dinosaurus, that activated effect veiler will not work due to its first effect. Now, when this card is in the graveyard, what you can do is you can banish itself and or any other dino monster in your graveyard for cost, and if you do that, special summon a dino monster with a level equal to the amount of dinos that were banished using its effect. So what I mean by that is, if this is in the graveyard and I banish itself, that means it's one monster, which therefore means that I could special summon out a monster that's level 1. If I banish these 2 from the graveyard, that's a level 2. If I banish 3 monsters from the graveyard, that's a level 3. So on and so forth. Again, this is a 3 of because this is your starter and it is your extender. Now, 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Alrighty? This is your boss monster, so again, I like to run 3 of this. I do not play Pot of Extravagance because this is a budget build. As budget as I can make it while being kind of competitive. You know what I'm saying? This is a really good boss monster because when you special summon it, it only requires 2 dino monsters. Okay, and that's very easy to get to, very easy to summon. Its first effect, during either player's main phase, destroy a monster on the field or in your hand, and if you do, flip all the monsters your opponent controls face down. When it attacks a defense position monster, inflict 1,000 damage and send it to the graveyard. That is an activated effect. Its other effect is it can attack one monster your opponent controls each. So, I mean not one monster, all monsters your opponent controls each. So if they have 6 monsters, you can attack all 6. Okay, this is not a hard once per turn. So if you have 3 like I have on the mat on the field, then you can use its effect 3 times. Alright? So a really good card. I know some people brick on it, but I have Heart of the Cards, so my RNG is very good. So I don't usually brick with it, but I just like to hard draw it, you know? Baby Ceratosaurus. Now for the babies, I only run 3 because any more I think I would brick. Baby Ceratosaurus, what they do is when it's destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower dino monster from your deck. That is a mandatory effect. And for Petite Pteranodon, it does the same thing except it summons a level 4 or higher. And that monster cannot attack. Now, This is good because it summons Pankratops, and in a combo I will show y'all, right? I know I keep saying it. In the combo I'll show y'all, it'll be in there as to why I run this card, okay? So 3 only so we don't brick. Now for our 1-ofs, we have Yugioh, Armaduran Archosaur, and Giant Rex. Okay, this is our first expensive card. Now, for budget options for this card, because it is a $40+ card, you can play the True King package as I stated previously, which consists of Dredonic Diagram, the field spell, 3 Fire True Kings, and 1 Earth True King. You can fix those ratios however you like, but that's what I recommend. Maybe 1 Fire True King if you don't want to brick. But anyways, Yugioh is only in here because it's a tuner in level 1, and Giant Rex is only in here because it is a level 4 monster that when it is banished, it can be special summoned back. Okay, that's really important because you can go really easily into rank 4 plays. Now, this card, when it's normal or special summoned, destroy a dino monster in your hand or face-up field and add a evolution pill to your hand. Okay? So 1-ofs, these are garnets. These 2 are garnets at least. But if you are able to send it and use it the way you need to, it's really good for the deck. Again, if you play a Pot of Extravagance, you don't really need these cards. The Yugioh and the Giant Rex, but we don't. So this is my build without Extravagance. So now we're going second cards, or these 2 are going second. This is a Kaiju. If you don't know what Kaijus do, tribute a opponent's monster to special summon itself to their field. This, if they control more monsters than you do, special summon it. Quick effect. You can tribute 1 Dino Wrestler monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls. That's for cost, and then destroy it. This we only play so that we can dump it off of Foolish Burial or Soul Eating Oviraptor. Okay? So that's that. Again, only 1-ofs because we don't need to see in our opening hand because we can search them. Now, get rid of the tissue box. Okay? I'm so sorry, everybody, but we have to play Nibiru the Primal Being. If I didn't have to play hand traps, I wouldn't. But in this format, if they pop off, and we're done. So Nibiru the Primal Being. As a budget option, you can run hand traps like Effect Veiler, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, DD Crow, Skullmeister, Dimension Shifter. Literally anything that you can think of that can replace this and you can put into your deck. Like, nothing will ever replace Nibiru because it's the best at what it does. If they summon 5 or more monsters during their main phase, you wipe the whole board. Very, very strong card. So those are your budget alternatives or options. Same thing with Ash Blossom. It did get a reprint, just like Nibiru, but the reprint is still expensive because cold money. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Ash Blossom, again, just rewind my video and listen to those budget options I gave y'all. Now, for this card, this is actually budget. So if y'all don't get this, I don't know what to tell y'all. This is $1, $2 right now, depending on where you live. I got mine for $1, $2 each, I think. So yeah, if you don't know what this does, if a monster effect is activated while you control no monsters, special summon this and this to the field. And if you do that, negate the activation and destroy it. Then at the end phase, banish the cards that were summoned there by this effect. This is really good because if you have Misk and you activate it, and they try to negate it with DD Crow or whatever card, you can use this and negate their hand trap. Great. So very, very good card. Very budget card. So I suggest y'all buy multiples. Now onto our spells. Fossil Dig. Again, self-explanatory. We run a 3-of because any card that gives us resources, we try to maximize on, especially if it's our searcher. Adds a level 6 or lower dino monster from your deck to the hand. Next we have Lost World, another 3-of. All monsters on the field that aren't dinos lose 500 attack and defense. When a Dino Monster is normal or special summoned to the field, you can special summon a level 1 Earth Dino token to their field. If your opponent controls a token, they cannot target your Dino Monsters with targeted effects. And the last effect, if a normal monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy a Dino Monster from the deck instead. I'll explain to you how useful this is in a combo video, but for now, all I can say is that, let's say you attack the token and it's going to be destroyed, you can activate Lost World and instead destroy Baby Ceratosaurus. And by destroying Baby Ceratosaurus will special summon you whatever monster you want. Another Soul Eating, it can give you another Misk, you can destroy Quatlis or Petit Pteranodon. Man, you could do anything you want, as long as the situation calls for it. Now, 2 Double Evolution Pill. Banish 1 Dino and 1 non-Dino monster from your hand or graveyard. That's for cost. And if you do that, special summon a level 7 or higher Dino monster ignoring summoning conditions. Remember, if you summon a Conductor by using this, you cannot revive it from the graveyard because it wasn't properly summoned the first time. So just remember that. So yes, only 2. I don't run 1 anymore because last time I want to do the Archimedor and Archosaur combo, but I failed because I already had it in my hand, and you can't search something that's not searchable. So now, Mystic Mine. This got a reprint, Prismatic Rare in the 2020 Megatins. So if you can get it, get it. I think it's still kind of expensive, like $4 or something. Depends on what's expensive to you. I trade a lot, and I got these basically for free. But I also did buy a Megatin, so I guess it wasn't for free. But yeah, I did get a lot of good cards from the Megatin. But like I said, that's just my RNG. Very good card. If you can run it, please do. If they have 6 negates, 6,000 negates, try to bait out the monster or the card that negates spells, and then you can activate that. Now for our 1-ofs, Foolish Burial. Send 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard. Your targets could be Giant Rex, Overtex Quatlis, Misk if you really want. Terraforming. Add a field spell from your deck to your hand. Mystic Mine or the Lost World. Mind Control. Target 1 monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Take control of that target but cannot attack or be tributed. So that's a 1-of. Upstart Goblin. This is our budget Pot of Extravagance. I know it's nothing as good as that, but they only gain 1,000 life points for drawing 1 card. That's not a big drawback because we are an OTK deck. So that's the end of that. And then last but not least, Called by the Grave. This is a 1-of, but I do like seeing it in my hand. It's just a good card. So yeah, that rounds that up, and now we move on to the extra deck. For our extra deck, we play a Borlo Dragon. This is a great card because you cannot target it with monster effects, and it, as a quick effect, targets a face-up monster on the field and makes it lose 500 attack and defense. The main reason why we play this card actually is because of its last effect. During the damage step, when you attack into an opponent's monster, you can steal that monster and put it into a zone that the Borlo Dragon points to. So this can out Red Eyes Dragoon, Appaloosa, Gearfried, even Borlo Savage Dragon. You could really out anything with this. Next we play 1 back row removal in the form of Nightmare Phoenix. When it's link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls and destroy it. Then, if it was co-linked when this effect was activated, you can draw 1 card. This is getting a reprint in Genesis Impact if I am correct. If not, please correct me. You can also run Tornado Dragon. It is a good alternative, and it's just honestly personal preference because Tornado Dragon, it's a quick effect and you can do it twice. This you could only do it once when it's summoned. Next, I play this OTK package in the form of Pentastag and Underclock Taker. Any monster that is linked to it gains the effect of dealing piercing battle damage to defense position monsters, and Underclock Taker has opponent's monsters that you target lose attack equal to the target that is pointed to Underclock Taker. So what that means is, if I have Underclock Taker and Conductor underneath, I target my Conductor, I target an opponent's monster, and that monster loses the attack equal to Conductor, which is 3500. And then I swing, and then I'll deal loads and loads of damage. Next, we have Secure Gardener and Link Karibo. Alrighty. For these, I only play this for the combo for Drac Aolo or Armadoran Archosaur. Usually for Armadoran Archosaur. Because when you summon the Jewel Beast, because it's a level 1, you link it off with Link Karibo. And because Link Karibo is a Psyburst monster, link that off into Secure Gardener. And by that point, in your graveyard, you will have a non-dino and Jewel Beast as a dino. And you can use that for your double evolution pill. Next, we have our Xyz monsters. Ivysaur Lagio, Ivysaur Doka. I play 2 copies of Doka because I find that I use this more since it can negate monster effects twice in a turn. This only negates a summon and or a spell and trap card once because it detaches all its materials. So that's why I run it. For the other Xyz monsters, we have Abyss Dweller. This destroys any graveyard decks, mostly because it negates the graveyard activations. Baguska, any monsters or any decks that really don't revolve around link summoning, you can use this against, so that their Xyz monsters or fusion monsters will not be able to attack you. Next, we have our board wipe, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. This is like my budget, my budget evenly matched, because I don't own evenly matched, it's too expensive. So this is what you can run instead. Next, we have Ragna Zero. This is a nice card because it synergizes well with Lost World. You can target an attack position monster your opponent controls, and if its attack is different from its original attack, you can destroy it, then draw a card. For our last cards, we have Trishula and Chambara. This is an OTK card that gains 200 attack during the damage step and can attack twice. This can get rid of 1 card from your hand, field, and graveyard of the opponent. So that rounds the extra deck. Let's get into the side deck suggestions. To start off with our extra deck, if you're going against a lot of back row removal, you can always run Twin Twisters, 3 copies of it. Remember, 3 copies is always nice, mainly because you have the best chance of drawing it in your hand. Because that's the reason why you cite it, right? Is so that you can see it. So always 3 copies, unless otherwise specified, like with yourself or if the situation calls for only 1 or 2. So Twin Twisters. Next, Deep Barrier. Zodiac is really prevalent right now, so you can use this against them and it destroys them. Nobody can summon Xyz monsters for the rest of the turn, so that's why it's really effective against them. Next, we have Imperial Order. Highly effective against spell decks, Witchcraft or Sky Striker. You would play Imperial Order. Remember, these trap cards are like going first cards, since the deck I play with dinos is a going second. Red Reboot for trap decks. Any deck that draws a lot, we play Drone Lockbird because it stops them from drawing cards. Then next we have, this is sort of board wipe removal, the Winged Dragon of Ra, Sphere Mode. If you don't want to play this because it's too expensive, you could always play Lava Golem or a bunch of Kaijus. And then, like I said before, Effect Veiler. You can also run Forbidden Chalice, DD Crow, Dimension Shifter. And then last but not least, we have Artifact Sanctum. I would play 3, I just do not have it at the moment. But 3 would be ideal because all you need is 1 Scythe, since it can be searched. And when this is summoned, as it says here, if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So yeah, that wraps up the side deck. Alright, that is the end of our dinosaur profile. If you guys have any suggestions or anything at all you want to say, please let me know in the comments. Again, this is YFLVI, and I'll see you guys in the next one with a combo tutorial and a test hands video. Christmas is coming up, so happy holidays everybody. Goodbye.